Hi loves, it's Britt, and in this video I'm going to talk about Venus conjunct the South Node in Synastry. So what does it mean if you have your Venus conjunct with someone's South Node or vice versa? I'm surprised I haven't talked about this aspect yet because I feel like it's just one of those aspects that needs to be talked about. So the South Node in Synastry, when we have someone's planet conjunct with our South Node, it can really feel like this eerie feeling of something deep, something past life, and something soulmate. Now, when it's Venus conjunct someone's South Node, there can be a lot of love between these two people, because Venus is someone's heart. So the Venus person really can feel like the South Node person embodies exactly what they feel like they need in love and what they find pleasurable and what they if they're a man too, that like ideal lover woman. But even as a woman, when you're having this conjunction with someone, you can really just feel like they are a beautiful person. Like the South Node person is just a beautiful person, worthy of your love and worthy of your attention and care and kindness. And it can be a very open-hearted exchange. But there's more. It's not all positive here, because with this contact, I personally feel that it does show like a past life love. Like you were lovers in a past life. Like that's what I should title this video, Lovers in a Past Life. So the nature of that relationship is going to be dependent on, what that past life was, right? And the other aspects in this industry, what else is going on here? Is this a past life love that's also meant to be a present life love? That is not discerned by just this one aspect. But so there can end up, with all the love that is here, there can end up a feeling of like it could turn to hate. It could turn to something more ugly, if we've got other aspects going on, because that past life relationship and everything that it contained is now back, and we're here and we're in a relationship with this person, or we're interacting with this person in some way, and now we're having to deal with that karma. We're having to process that past life. Now, we might not even, actually, we likely do not remember what that past life was. So when we have this contact in Synastry, unexplainable feelings can come up. And usually it is going to be that of love, but because we don't know the nature of that past life relationship that was had here, it could be other feelings as well. But feelings are stirred here, right? And, the South Node person really feels comfortable with the Venus person. They both feel really comfortable with each other. All South Node contacts, there is this feeling of just being really understood and really similar. Now, because of these past life energies that are in play, it still could turn out to be a more negative or toxic relationship, depending on the rest of the Synastry, the composite chart. What is the purpose of the relationship now, right? But what this one aspect is showing is that there was love in a past life. They were lovers in a past life, and maybe there were other potentials. Maybe they were just really great friends in a past life, but there was like a lot of love there. The way that I feel this one is that like there was a lot of heart energy exchanged in this lifetime. Maybe they were in a musical band together, or maybe they were artists together, something Venusian, right? Anything ruled by Venus, that is a big theme of this relationship. And so the South Node person can find the Venus person very beautiful or very artistic or just very pleasing. Like maybe the Venus person they're just easy to get along with, right? And the Venus person feels like the South Node person, like I said, is just like the perfect embodiment of how they love and what they love. So there's a lot of compatibility here. There's a lot of comfort. And, depending on what else is going on, this can be one that can work for long term because we're just so similar and, we're so comforted by the other's presence. And, if this relationship is meant to be continued in this lifetime, we can really derive a lot of pleasure from it. But that's not often the case. I've seen both. I have seen this in a couple's long-term marriage relationship where this does last for 20 years plus. I have seen it with clients and people that I've known. And I've also seen it be one of those more like faded, short soulmate exchanges, like a short affair where there was a lot of love and intensity and then it just was not meant to last. I've seen it in other types of relationships, friendships, it's a very common aspect to see, actually. It's not unusual to see Venus conjunct the South Node. I think it is more common to see Venus conjunct the South Node than Venus conjunct the North Node in Synastry, just from my experience. I have seen this one more. Venus conjunct the North Node is a little bit more of a growth aspect, which, the North Node person is not sometimes wanting that growth. So sometimes that one does not last as much as this one does. But then, of course, with this being a South Node aspect, sometimes if you're in a long-term relationship with this person and there's nothing else happening with your North Node, this one can feel stagnant because the energy is so strongly comfortable to your habitual response and your past patterns and your sort of more karmic energy of the South Node that you stay there because it feels so good to stay there with the Venus person, right? But that doesn't have to be bad. That love and comfort might actually be what you need to heal whatever wounding is in your South Node so that you can actually build upon it like the foundation the South Node is meant to be towards your North Node. So this could be the relationship that actually helps you get there. But some people are, more lazy in their soul growth where this kind of contact, they're going to stay in their South Node and really just enjoy that. So, but I do like this one. It does show something significant. It shows something karmic. I would say that it shows past life lovers, or a strong heart energy being carried over. And, with the way that humans are, sometimes that can indicate there's, more difficult feelings also being brought up, what happened in the past life, right? That's what you have to find out in your meditation. But with this one, it's a little bit more light than like Saturn or Chiron or Pluto conjunct the South Node, right? Like this relationship in the past life was probably more pleasing than those relationships. And, you can really look back on someone like that you've had this connection with. Like I have an ex-boyfriend whose Venus was conjunct my South Node. And I look back on him like in very fond ways. Like I really appreciate that relationship. It was not long. It wasn't like a super long-term relationship, but the amount of soul growth that I had in those, 6 months or however long that it actually was, were quite profound. And we really did have a deep and comfortable bond. And we both have remained supportive of each other, in our lives. We don't hang out or talk anymore, but we'll say happy birthday on Facebook, and he's in a new relationship and he saw when I was in a new relationship, and there's still love, love as a soul friendship love. It the breakup, it didn't cause that evilness that, people can sometimes get in a ending or a severance of relationship. It's I still look back on that and I'm wow, he was a good guy. I love that guy. And I'm sure he feels the same way. Like, it's just like, you know, and even though there was heated things that came up in that relationship when it was happening, we were still able to, like, you know, look back and love each other, like have just like a detached love, right? Now that's just my experience in this. And I have seen it though. I have seen couples have this in a long-term relationship as well. And it would be something that would not like make or break a relationship either. It would actually be something that would probably add just a level of like a deep soulmate feeling to a relationship, which is good to have, right? The other thing that I will mention with this one is like, you could do something artistic together, like create something beautiful with this aspect, because it's Venus with the South Node. So like the way the South Node person just actually is really aids in the Venus person's creativity. And like, depending on the sign that it's in, the Venus person can really help the South Node person too with integrating that into a more higher way. Like the Venus person can help the South Node person with their creativity too. Like it goes both ways. And so when you do have this one, you want to meditate on the qualities of that sign of your South Node or of your Venus, and really like you'll feel those energies come out strongly in the relationship, positive and negative, right? Because it is a conjunction we're talking about. So the powerful feeling is felt, and the likely both sides of that sign are going to come out. But because it is Venus, there is that potential for it to really bring out like the higher octave of that sign, right? So Venus, when we have these strong Venus conjunctions, Venus can make something more beautiful, right? And more loving. And Venus is happy to do that if they're coming from an open-hearted place with this. So yeah, I like this aspect. I'm surprised I didn't talk about it yet until now, because it's just one of those aspects that you hear about all the time. You see it all the time. It's common. It's common. I don't really have a negative thing to say about it. I hope I mentioned the negative parts, but really the only negative thing about it is like that, you know, if the relationship from the past life that you had with this person was difficult, you're going to have to deal with that karmic stuff again. And like, also, it could be hard to let this relationship go because it feels so comfortable. It feels so natural. But if it's not meant to be for this lifetime, that it could be hard to let it go for either one or both persons. Because there is something just really inherently comforting about this. But see, comfort is not always growth, right? So you have to look at the rest of the chart and what else is going on, because this one could be so pleasing to the people that they could have a lack of compatibility elsewhere, but still want to remain in this relationship. But if they have wonderful synastry and amazing composite chart, you know, and really strong compatibility, this will just add that extra layer of like soulmate feeling. So yeah. Anyways, love you guys. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts on this. If you had this one, your experience of it. And I do offer one-on-one sessions. My links are below. I do a synastry session, so I do relationship charts, and then I also do a personal natal chart session as well. Okay, thanks for watching, you guys, and talk soon.